Alright guys, so number 6 is the difference between 10x plus 3 and negative 5x minus 4. Okay, difference means subtract. And when you're talking about expressions and they're being subtracted, the one key thing that you need to do is, and the second term needs to be a parentheses, right? You're subtracting, and the second term needs to be added here. So every time you're subtracting two expressions, that second one needs to be, the negative needs to be distributed into it. So 10x plus 3 minus, and then negative 5x minus 4. So you're subtracting this. So don't forget the minus and the second in parentheses. The first step in differences between expressions is always going to be to distribute the negative sign into the parentheses. Okay, so I know it has no numbers, just a minus. So in other words, it's just changing the signs inside. So negative times negative 5x now becomes positive 5x. Negative times negative 4 becomes now plus 4. Okay, so that what minus did is it changed the signs inside. Okay, so that's always the first step in difference of expressions, is to put your minus and then your second expression in parentheses, and then your second step would be to distribute that negative in. In other words, change the sign of the signs of the second expression. After you have simplified that, then it's super easy. All you're doing is combining like terms to simplify it all the way. One more thing, right? When you're finding difference of expressions, you are not solving. What you're doing is simplifying. It's not said in the problem, but that's what you're doing. So here, my last step is to combine like terms. I see the 10x and the 5x. Notice that I boxed in or circle, whatever I'm doing at that time, the sign in front of the number, because that tells me if it's positive or negative. So here I'm going to have 15x's, and then the other ones are constants, and they are like terms as well. So positive 3 and positive 4, positive 7. Okay? The next problem, which is I think 6 or 7, forgot, but the difference between f of x and g of x. So it is the same problem as this one, except the presentation is different. They're giving it to you in f of x and g of x. It's still different. You're still subtracting. You are not solving. You are simplifying, okay, when they give you two expressions. So you're going to find the difference between this term and this term. So basically what we did on the top, I'm going to rewrite that term, f of x is this, and then I'm going to find the difference or subtract that g of x. But remember, it's a whole expression, so I need to put it in parentheses, and that's my first step. My next step, as usual when you are subtracting expressions, is that you're going to distribute the negative in fact changing the signs inside. So that would give me negative 5/4 x, and negative times positive 9 would give me negative 9. Nothing happened to this first expression, so I just bring it down as is. Your next step is to combine like terms. Okay, so we have, these are the x's and these are the x's. Now we freak out because there are fractions. But remember, when you're adding fractions, if they have, or subtracting, when you have the same denominator, all you have to do is take care of the numerators. So the denominator stays the same. So for x's, I'm still going to have a denominator of 4. And both of these are negative, so remember, same sign, add and keep. So negative 1 minus 5 gives me negative 6x. Okay? And then the other terms are constants, so I just put them together. It's the same thing, same signs, add and keep. So 5 and 9 are both negative. Negative 5 minus 9 gives me negative 14. My last step here, because remember my goal is to simplify all the way, is that negative 6 and 4, I can simplify it by 2. And I get negative 3/2 x minus 14, and that is my answer. So remember again, with difference of expression problems, what you're doing is simplifying all the way.